Welcome back to episode 4 of Grunts, Naked Brutality, you beautiful people. Last episode we did go off to pristine ruins and we got a little bit of loot, and the team is just making their way back from the Vultures. So we went to the Vultures and we managed to pick up a slave called Kakon, I believe is probably how you were going to say it. And then if we go into gear, we did manage to get him a heavy Alliance helmet and then some Alliance armor. And we were also able to pick up an M92 Mantis, which is a sniper rifle, which isn't too bad. As for what we're coming back with, we've got a bunch of components, some advanced components. Didn't really get too much in the way of ammo, but we do have an orbital trade beacon now coming in, a biofuel refinery and a comm console and a high-tech research bench with a multi-analyzer, and 9 silver. Actually, looking at it, we done pretty well off that pristine ruins. So we are a decent way away on the research front of actually being able to unlock those sort of things, because we are on Naked Brutality, so we don't have the multi-analyzer done, because I don't think we have the microelectronics. No, we don't. So no microelectronics, so we would have had to research that to get the things that we just have there, and then we would have had to get the multi-analyzer. But if we just put down the high-tech research bench and then the multi-analyzer, we've got pretty much all of the research open. Well, not all of it, but a decent amount. So that puts us in a very, very good situation. That means the smithing is going to be done quicker, then the machining, gunsmithing, blowback, and then gun turrets. Gun turrets are a must, because it's not going to be too long until we start fighting some big boys. And talking about fighting some big boys, I think it is time that we wall this section off. Now, I have a plan. Might not be the best plan ever, but we have stepped these walls. So we go wall, space, wall. And what I'm thinking is what we're going to be able to do is if we start connecting all the walls up, and we have doors in between, we are going to be able to run around the outside of the base while still undercover, which means in different sections we can put embrasures and that, especially like down here. So the enemies come in, say if the kill zone fails for whatever reason, we would have other fallback points, so we'd be able to get in behind them and shoot them. This section will probably end up having turrets in it, and then all down here is going to be crazy fortified. Then we'll extend the wall along here, and that will be a solid defensive line as well. So there's going to be a lot of fortifying, a lot of building turrets, and a lot of digging in, because, well, that's kind of what we're going to need, because as soon as like 5 Inferno Peds show up, if we don't have that, they will just shoot through our armor, and it will be GG. Or we annoy the Security Force like we did in the STG Ice Sheet Challenge and just get spanked. And Tinnis is just going around doing what Tinnis does. Let's get on with the episode. And everyone is now back from the pristine ruins. It took them a couple days to carry on back to here, which is fine, a little bit longer than expected though. But they are now back. They're having a feast to celebrate, so we don't mind that. We got the comm console and the orbital trade beacon. And that trade beacon we are just going to smash in, I think right there. That looks like a good place. And seeing as we do have the new research bench, maybe we make a proper research lab. But I think for the moment just there will be fine. And then we can take this one and put it there. The reason we would have our own place for the research lab instead of it being here is this is quite a travelled area. And when they travel through, that creates dirt, and then dirt will lower the research speed. However, just having that research lab and then also the multi-analyzer is pretty sweet for us. That is not something that we really should have this early on, so we are not even mad. And then I think we'll just turn this into a small process room. So that's where we're just going to put the corpses. We do have the corpse to chem fuel mod, so anything that dies we can turn into chem fuel. So human bodies, alien bodies, animals. But the animals will set so it only does them on rotten. But then we'll let all the humans go through. Because what we also have is the apparel recycling. So instead of just having to destroy clothes, what we can do is we can break them down. So you know how you can smelt armor and weapons? Like, instead of destroying them, you can smelt them. A similar thing, but you can do that with apparel instead. So standard clothes that normally you would just burn. So you get a little bit something back. And nothing amazing, but is a nice little boost. Does yet again mean we're going to need more crafters. I've just noticed that in pretty much all of my playthroughs. The bottleneck always happens with the amount of crafters we have, because I just have people just doing silly amounts of crafting. Well, more smelting stuff, but details, all a part of the fun. It turns out we had a notification to say that we had the plague come through, and I might have missed it. But thankfully, Tinus kind of looked after himself, so he has an immunity of 84 to a plague of 76. Then it also went on to Gaglish, and yeah, he pretty much recovered from it straight away. However, or adding to, or conveniently, we do have the Comms console set and then the orbital trade beacon. So if we send Grunt down, and let's go and call a slave ship. If we get super lucky, we might be able to pick up Solarian, because we need a designated researcher, and Solarians just so happen to be the best researchers. And unfortunately, it is not looking like we are going to get ourselves a Solarian. However, a Quarian might be half decent. So hard worker, athletic, kind, and steadfast, which are all pretty good things to have. But also has incompetent, which is -4 to every skill. And also you're less likely to have passions. So if she didn't have incompetent, she would have been a bit of a beast. Unfortunately, you're going to have to turn that down. What about the Butarian? Sanguine, Trigger Happy are both good, same as Bloodlust and Kind. Pyromaniac, not a massive fan of. Slowpoke sucks, and so does Feeble. Not too interested in Humies at the moment, unless Commander Shepard shows up, then maybe. Okay, so they are still willing to buy a few things. We do have a whole bunch of cloth, so let's sell them 2,000. We don't really need cloth at the moment, but having a little bit in case we need to build more recreation stuff wouldn't be a bad shout. They can have all of our herbal medicine. Actually, no they can't, because we've still got the plague going on. We'll sell 100 of that, leaves us with 27. And then I've got a feeling, yeah, they're going to buy all of our rubbishy ammo. And then that means they're probably going to buy all of our rubbishy weapons. Not a bad little haul for us. So we'll be making 5,591. Unfortunately, they have no slaves that we want, but we can always call another slave ship a little bit later on. Called in a second slave ship, and we do have this Krogan here, who isn't the greatest at the moment, but has potential to be pretty decent. Xenophile is actually not too bad. So they're like aliens. Doesn't eat much, which is pretty good. Is abrasive, so that annoys people, but is also kind, so won't ever start arguments and stuff. Now, is also slothful, so minus 30% to global work speed, which kinda sucks. But we can get rid of slothful and abrasive, and then we'll be left with a Xenophile who doesn't eat much and is kind to everyone. Has a double burn and passion in crafting, which is good. Double burn and passion in cooking, which is also good. Double burn and passion in construction, which is good. But the main thing that sold it was has an intellectual of 7 with 1 passion in it, which means that until we find our Solarian, we can actually be getting on with our research. So that'll cost us 2,429. Did have a little look at the Asari, but the Asari was not great. Decent, but not great. So, no Asari, but we'll get the Krogan. What can't you do? You can't do caring, but then I wouldn't want a Krogan being a care worker anyway. And can't do plants, which is fine because we're not going to be using you for that. And has no health conditions. So this is a pretty good Krogan who already has been dibsed. So once it drops in, we'll be changing you straight away across to GNU. Cool. And your jobs, okay, firefighting and patient on 1, bed rest on 1, can basically do everything we need, which is awesome. But you are going to be our mad Krogan scientist, so we might as well call you Fortac. It's not Fortac. It's Okia. Yeah, should have been Okia if you're a mad Krogan scientist. But details, not an issue. Off the back of that, we will need to put another room in. And what I've realised is the wall goes one lower on this side than it does on this side over here. But if I am being sneaky, what we should be able to do, and it'll be fine, is we just dig into the mountain. And then we have the process room in here. so it's well out of the way. So if bugs come in, they're more likely to go into that section. And to be fair, there's nothing really in the process room that would be super bad if we lost. And we got some mad alpacas. Oh no, they are coming in. Cool. Make sure everyone is set to attack on sight. And then I don't think we need to worry too much about some alpacas. Okay, Gnu's already trying to shank them, so fair play, earning your worth there, mate. Baptism by fire, stabbing an alpaca to death. Yeah, whatever makes you happy. Cool. We're also getting him a room in. I'm thinking that maybe... Can we actually build it? No. I was going to say we'll go build the new fancy flooring, but we can't do that. So we're just going to go with marble for the moment, even though it's going to be quite expensive and take a long time to build. It's just not going to make this room look so sucky, I guess. And if we do this right, we should be able to make it look semi-presentable, as if it was meant to look this way. Oh no, that's one bigger. We'll just put 2 in. Maybe this works. It looks like it might work. Combat supplier is coming past, selling a bunch of junk, but we've managed to pick up 1,407 AP rounds, which is super toasty. Now let's see if they've got any decent Mass Effect weapons. So they've got an M7 Lancer, which is a decent enough gun for the time being. And that looks like it's just about all they have. So, or we could get the Ballista, but that shoots plasma canisters. Not too interested in mixing that up this early on. Now, do they have any kit? And the answer is looking like a no. So we will pick up the gun link, just because even though it's awful quality, it still gives +3 to weapon handling, which is not bad at all. We come out with 673 on that, which is okay. And then also a mystical shaman, we don't really care about that. Bulk's good trader from the Red Lake tribe. They don't have a massive amount that we're after, but they do have 1,500 granite blocks. Now we still have granite left on the map and a decent amount, but we are going to get through that super quick. So we're going to be picking up the 1,500. They're selling for 1.28, so that gets quite expensive. However, we have a whole bunch of meat that we're going to be selling them, and some potatoes as well. The reason for it is we've had that in the storage for quite a long time and we're just not using it. So there's a fair chance that a lot of it will spoil if we lost any power. So I figured we might as well just get rid of it now. Now it's a little bit of money, and also get a whole bunch of granite chunks. Now for how much granite is actually left on the map, still over 200 blocks. So that's still a fair amount, but we will run out very quickly. This is definitely going to take a while and a bit of micromanagement, but we do have the second line of walls going in. So once this is done, if we just close doors strategically or unallow them, our guys are going to have to go through the places that we want them to go. So therefore they're not going to be out in the open and being shot. So we're going to have a bunch of very safe rat runs. Then we're also going to be able to armour the corners, and then with those, yet again, rat runs, so they can get in and out of the base. And if anyone tries to sap through, well, they're going to be running onto a whole bunch of turrets behind the doors. So I think that's going to work really well. That's going to be quick to move around. We'll need to put some extra mining in, but what we don't want to do right now is start mining all this section out, run out of the granite, and then the base be open, and then annoying tribals or such come in and start causing us some trouble. This section is nearly done along here. Still struggling on the marble front. We do have a whole bunch of marble over here, but our crafters are not amazing. And looks like we got another slaver from the White Hand coming in. We'll send Grunt over and hopefully they have something good for us. They do have one Solarian, but the Solarian sucks. Heat intolerant in the middle of a rainforest. You're going to have a bad time. You're pyromaniac. That's going to also be very bad for you. You're greedy and a wimp. Those 4 traits by themselves are not great. One more Krogan, and were you any good? Chemical fascination. One of my least favourite traits in the whole game. Trigger happy is decent enough. Athletic, which is good. Misogynist, not good. Sleever, okay. Volatile. Not particularly great when mixed with abrasive and chemical fascination. Decent enough stats though. But we'll give you a miss for the moment. So, some very unfortunate timing and RNG. Literally, infested ship chunk come in. Landed, and then for whatever reason it exploded. Exploding has just woken up all of the bugs. Tennis is in a bit of trouble. He's caught right out in the open by all of the bugs. Now what we are going to do is we're going to get everyone and we're just going to gun line and fall back and shoot and fall back and hope for the best. For Tennis though, I don't think he's going to be able to get through there before they catch him. How heavy are you? He's not... Actually, he's 24 out of 40. What is your movement at the moment, buddy? 4.31, so not super quick. And the bugs are at 4.7. So the bugs are quicker than him. And he's also going to be running into our guys who are going to be shooting at him. So this could be the end of Tennis. It'd be a bit of a shame. Oh, 6 silver and 260 silver there for some reason. Right. We kind of hope that he just gets beaten up and goes down. And Grunt, do you have any medical supplies on you? And Grunt, do you have any medical supplies on you? Yes, you got 4 Medigel. So if he can just hold long enough, then we should be okay. And also, we will turn run and gun off so we can run that a little bit quicker. Is it going to be quick enough? Probably not, no. Half decent at dodging. Parried, dodged. He's a bit of a beast in close combat. Okay, our other guys, a couple of them are in position, so they're shooting. Okay, bleeding out in 3 hours. Right, kidney destroyed. Okay, 0.7. I don't think Tennis has got this somehow. Maybe if we can push in, force the bugs off, then we go here, we go into furniture, sleeping spot, make that medical. That might pull it off. I doubt it. I doubt we're going to be able to fight through everything and get there and then be able to do it. Okay, no, Tennis is dead, just like that. Cool, let's not lose anyone else. Move and shoot. Grunt. Well, that was GNU actually. He just got mashed, literally 1 bite. Okay. We need people reloading whilst we're moving. Conk, we need you back. Grunt, I'm going to need you this way. GNU, you're going to move back there, create a semicircle. How are you looking? You've got 10 hours. That's enough time for a firefight. And Tennis, were you any good, buddy? Decent at crafting, bionically skilled, great memory, neurotic, misogynist. Yeah, he wasn't bad. He was actually a fairly good colonist. Bit of a shame, but then if you have a massive swarm of bugs land on your head, there's not a mass amount you can do. Cool. Let's move in, let's force the bugs back. GNU's going to be fine. Kank might take a bit of a hit. Let's go in health. Okay, right femur, and yeah, you're just scratched up. And we're going to need to fight our way down and then try to get this stuff back before it all gets lost. Are we going to wait and try to rescue Tennis's body? No, I think we let his body pass over. So just pretty much just a clean-up operation now. We just got to make sure that those disruptor rounds don't go off and that we can rescue the battle rifle as well. Alright, nice little stand here. Got a few bugs about. Don't need to worry about too many of them at the moment. Shame. But this is manageable. Yeah, we got this. We're fine, we're fine. They got one mega spider left. That's on fire. Cool. Clean up operation, and then away we go. Didn't get to cack on in time. And yeah, no, he's got an infection. So we're looking 2.4 to 3. So like that, he should be fine. GNU. How are you doing? You still haven't been tended to, but you bleed out in 20 hours. So you're actually healing quicker than that's trying to kill you. And a bunch of tribals. Not a massive amount. Also like 9. We should be able to gun them down pretty quick. But that is something for another episode. So thank you very much for watching Grunts Naked Brutality. I'll be Conzi. All your likes, comments, sub support have been amazing. You guys are awesome. And I'll catch you on the next one.